Okay, so PhET is a digital problem-solving tool that helps students learn physics, biology, math, and other science subjects by conducting interactive science experiment simulations. And it was started at the University of Colorado in Boulder. So we're going to see what it has to offer. You can register as a teacher, but you don't have to. The simulations are all free to use for anyone. So it's a website rather than software, and you just go to phet.colorado.edu to access the simulations. It includes a lot of different resources. Some of them run HTML5, some of them are JavaScript. They have Flash as well. So if we look on the left side over here, you can see 4 different modules. We have simulations, teaching resources, research, and accessibility. So if we're looking under simulations, we can see there are a bunch of different categories. There's new sims, you can categorize by HTML5. Then we have 5 different subject areas: physics, biology, chemistry, earth science, and math. You're also able to categorize by grade level, by device, which would be iPad or tablet versus Chromebook. And then you can look at the translated sims, which has all of these different languages they're able to use for students. So we're going to start off looking at new sims. And if you look in this bottom corner, it says what program it runs on. These are all HTML5 here. And if we click on HTML5, see all these different simulations. There's all these different subjects. So we're going to look at math to start. Don't need the definition there. And we'll do math applications rather than concepts. So we're going to start off looking at this balancing act activity. And if you look underneath the video, you can download it. So you don't have to be connected to the internet to use it. You can also share it to these different platforms. Google Classroom would probably be the most realistic of how you'd share it with your class if you're doing that. And then on this side over here, it explains the things students will be learning by doing this activity. They'll learn balance, proportional reasoning, and torque. There's a little bit of physics in there as well. And then underneath the video has the translations that this simulation is available in, so that's really helpful for students to learn a more abstract concept if they're able to do it in their native language. So we're going to go ahead and click on this play button, see how this works. We'll just do the intro. So this helps students learn how to balance different things, and you can do things like you can hide. There's the mass up there, but we can hide that. So students have to use more deductive reasoning skills to figure out how much things weigh. And then you can just kind of play around with it, see how it works. And you see how it balances. And if you move this one over here, it gets a little bit different. Alright. So I found this one by searching under math, but you can also search by grade levels, which is super helpful. So you have elementary school, middle school, high school, and university, so all ages are covered by these simulations, which is awesome. So yeah, this is a pretty handy tool. I know I would have really liked to use this in high school to help with more abstract scientific concepts and mathematical. So this tool allows students to investigate these ideas in a virtual simulation. So they're able to do more project-based learning or problem-based learning, where they're able to figure things out for themselves through trial and error, which is really helpful. When teaching science subjects, many scenarios are impossible to experiment in the school or classroom settings, but with PhET, you're able to do that digitally and explore many different possibilities. For lower grade levels, PhET provides a game section so that younger learners are more interested and engaged. It's easy to find a detailed description and a teacher tip under each simulation, which makes them resources ready to be used. There's also, like I mentioned before, all of those different languages for each sim here. which is really helpful for ELL students who are still learning English but are able to understand these mathematical or scientific concepts. And all of these are based on Common Core state standards, which is really helpful because that's used across the board. So it's really useful to make a standards-based curriculum using PhET. So we're going to look at a game. We're going to go back to that balancing act and look at a game for elementary school students. So we did the intro before. We're going to look at the game. And there are different levels depending on either what grade level they're in or where the teacher thinks their students' ability levels are. You can click on that, and students can work in groups on this or individually, depending on their needs. But it is a really good collaborative way of students to talk things out and figure out why things should go certain places and where. So we're trying to get this to be level. We can do all different things. So we know these weigh the same. Check. Oh, and I failed that one, so that's a little bit embarrassing. But maybe we'll just move it a little closer. There we go. So as you can see, it offers instant feedback for students, which is really helpful, especially for the young students in elementary school. There's a lot of prediction. It's good. So then after students complete this activity, they can choose one of the levels that they completed and explain how they figured it out, how it works. They can explain to other students. So that way they're not only just figuring this out, but they have to actually know how to explain what they did and why what they did worked. So overall, this is a great tool. I think the translations are an especially helpful tool to get all students involved, and it's fun to just mess around with things and see these hypothetical situations, how they play out. It really helps students connect with the material rather than just thinking about them in abstract ways or only seeing illustrations in books. This can really kind of put a face to the name, so to speak, and they can actually figure out why things work and not just know that they do. So, thanks for watching.